Greetings, everyone. Happy Saturday. Peace and blessings. So, I wanted to come in today and talk about the astrology. It is so beautiful. The astrology is beginning to become so lovely and I just love the astrology so much. And now that I've gotten on here, I'm like, okay, what is it that I want to talk about? Okay. So the first thing I want to say is I want to invite you guys to do the new moon cycle we have. How do I talk about the work that I do or the work that I teach? Is there anybody here who's been in a moon cycle with me and done the work? That would be really great if you can talk about it. But we live in an energetic planet. Everything here is energy. And we have not been taught that. We have been taught that things are mundane. We've been taught to pursue the world from an external perspective, from the perspective of the material, from the perspective of the mundane. But the world is not mundane. The world is energetic, and everything is energy. And for those of us who are really sensitive, like I'm a very sensitive person, I can feel everything. I can see, I can hear, I just have always sort of had a spidey sense. Now, because of the world that we were in the mundane, it made me afraid to use my spidey senses, right? So, I was told that I had to believe in Jesus Christ, or, one of the things that I used to experience a lot were men who would be like, oh, you're being too dramatic, or, oh, you're just so much, you know what I mean? You're just so dramatic. But it's because I'm sensitive, because I can feel. So I have a lot of passion, right? And it shows up as psychic abilities. It shows up as intuition. It shows up as, being talking loud or all this. But really what it is that I feel the energy. I can feel energy. I can feel what we can't see. I can feel it. And when I'm tapped into it enough, I can actually hear it. I can actually see what other people can't see. I can perceive things that are not, and that is energy. And everything is energy before it's material, before it's mundane. And so what is the energy is really light. And it's not like light like what we perceive with our eyes, but the energy is light. So as I learn to really speak the language of energy, which is symbolism, through astrology, it makes you psychic. It makes you know what's happening. It makes you be able to perceive what you can't really see. And the world is going through a hugely chaotic shift. Shifts are usually chaotic. But what's happening in America is that Pluto is at the degree that it was when America was founded back in 1777. So that's the 27th degree. And it's been there for the last 3 years or so, on and off. Pluto has been there, right? And so we're watching our American systems come undone. We're watching the things that when I was a little girl were just hailed as, who is Vixen Smith? Who is that? What do you want to share? Like if you have something you want to talk about, that's great. Then, maybe I'll let you in. But so when I was a little girl, like I'm telling you, so I've been 55 times around the sun, right? And what I have seen, I've seen the world change so much, like not just the physical world, because it's not about the physical world. I have seen humans change and evolve. I have seen, I remember when I was little, and to me, I used to go to a very Southern Black church, and everybody was old. Everybody was old. Even the 50-year-olds were old. You know what I mean? Everybody was everybody watched the same television shows. Everybody believed in the same thing. It was just a very archaic kind of way of being. And now, like, the world is so different. There's so many more ideas. Like, because of the energy is changing. I remember when people could still smoke in offices. I remember going into offices and places where people were still smoking cigarettes in the office, right? So, and the reason the world was so archaic is because we live in a made up world. It's like the world that we're in is like a big amusement park. It's like a big Disneyland, right? It's the world that we're in is just a world that was created out of people who came together and said, we're going to have this government, and this is what government is going to look like, and this is what the education will look like, and this is what the religion will look like. Human beings sat down and created this shit. So it's just a big game. We call it culture, society, we call it laws, but it's just all a game. It's all a game. It's all made up, right? Which is so fucking exciting, because when I read the astrology, I'm like, oh, the energy is changing. So the energy that held this game in place is beginning to collapse. Why? Because everything ends. Everything runs in cycles, you all. Everything does. And as we change out of the age of Pisces and into the age of Aquarius, we're shifting a tremendous cycle. Pisces was the age of like groupthink. It was like the subconscious. It was like where we were all sort of in this pool together, like fish to ocean. Everybody sort of believes the same thing. Everybody. So we had these major religions, the 3 Abrahamic religions that all basically are founded from the same experience. But that's a very Piscean thing. Democracy, all this shit is very Piscean. Now we're moving into the age of Aquarius. And the age of Aquarius is about rebellion and individuality. So we're going to watch. We're living through a tremendous shift where people are going to stop following this one size fits all way of being. And the revolution really is inside of the human mind and us recognizing, like I said, we used to smoke in offices where we start to recognize this isn't good for me anymore. This doesn't serve. These ways of being are not in alignment with who I am. And just in the last several years, I've changed so much. I remember one time my ex-husband came to my house and he was like, who are you? Like, when did you become this person? And I remember thinking, gosh, I must have really changed a lot that he's making this, because he used to always think he knew me. Like he would always, and he did, he knew me, but like I had become so far away from who he knew me to be that he didn't even recognize me anymore. And this is the journey that we're all on at this time. Now, it's been kind of easy for me to do because I have a Pisces rising and a Virgo sun and a Sagittarius midheaven and a Gemini moon. All of that energy is very mutable. So I'm malleable. Like, I'm like, oh, okay. And I see that in my personality. I see the part of me that's like, I've never tried that. Like, that's how I was able to be like, oh, I'm going to try open relating. Oh, I'm going to do this. Oh, I'm going to study Hinduism. I'm going to study Christianity. I'm going to study Islam, because I'm very curious. And my energy is not fixed, right? But we're living through a time that is really malleable. And what we have to do is take on a new identity. Many of us, we just need a new identity. So I'm reassigning my identity around blackness. What does it mean to be black? It doesn't have anything. Like, I'm letting go of the identity of blackness as it was assigned to me as a woman in America, and inviting myself into a more cosmic understanding of blackness and what it means to be someone who was born with a soul, someone who is connected to spirit, someone who is aligned with nature. Like, so now giving myself a new identity so that I can begin to function in a new way. So I realize that my mind, many of us you'll relate to this, our minds are very conditioned into relating to the reality from a perspective of money and what you can afford, and this is what happened historically, and this is how. And so as I begin to recognize that reality is a blank page, so anything I'm coming to assigning meaning is the energy that I'm then creating. So I want to begin to let go of my meanings. This means that, and that means that. No, 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 no. I'm going to give my own meanings, right? Now, here's the thing. As we move out of this process, the moon work, the work that I do with astrology in the community Follow the Sun, assists us to go through this from one new moon cycle to the next. We can reprogram ourselves from one new moon cycle to the next. And I teach this, and I invite you guys to come and learn, because here's what I have seen. You can do the work yourself. You can initiate yourself because of the energy. And the energy is saying, the energy is saying, now is the time for initiation. And you can begin to initiate yourself into a new identity. Or you can hold on to the old identity and have your life have to collapse on you. I've seen it time and time again when people will not gracefully step into what the universe is offering when it's being offered. And when they don't, then they miss it. And you're born to function in a different way at this time on the planet. They miss the easy opportunity, and then their lives have to crumble. So then they get a health challenge, or they lose their jobs, or it becomes really challenging to do. So I invite you to come and learn how to get yourself into a new frequency through the tools that the universe has offered us. The universe has given us incredible tools. There's so much information on the internet, and there's so much misinformation on the internet. And here's what I'll say to you. We are on planet Earth right now. As far as we know, they call it planet Earth. That is where we are. Whether it's the Draconians or the Palladians or the whatever it is, right? Whatever it is, if you are stuck in this American brain, it does not matter. The American brain, the Western concept of reality, is collapsing. It's collapsing, and you must create a new path, a new way of thinking in order to evolve yourself while you're here. I remember when I was in my 40s still, and I remember going through something like having a little bit of a depression. And I said to myself, you are only 40 something. You are probably going to live a very long time. You have got to figure this out. You have got to understand what's going on, because you're going to be here a while. And that's when I devoted myself to understanding the nature of reality and how it works. And how we were taught that it works is not the fuck how it works. So people think, you're going to just do this. And no, you have got to transform your mind. And there is an easy way to do it. And I am a co-creator in it. Okay. I am a co-creator in it. I am a way shower. I am here to teach you how to get from one reality and into the next. I am a way shower to help you do that. That is what I was born to do. That is how I am made to function. I can see the energy. It's my gift, and I'm so grateful, and I'm so thankful to the God inside of me to show me what my gifts are. I can see the way. and I'm so happy that I can, because if I could not see the way for myself, I would be a completely different person right now. And I have had to turn down all the noise in my life in order to learn to listen like animals listen, like birds listen, like I can hear. And I can read the signs and symbols, and I'm clear about what's happening. I am clear about what's happening. And I know that it's all good. That's the thing that I know. I'm clear about what's happening. I can see the signs. I know that it's all if Harriet Tubman were alive today, she would be Monique Ruffin. She would be Monique Ruffin. And that is how clear I am about my work. Like, I am here to assist us in actually getting freedom in our consciousness. And I know the way. I know the way. So if you want to learn, because here's the thing, I'm a way shower. Like, I don't carry people. So I can show you the way and I can teach you, because the way is through you. That's the thing. That is the trick. The way is through you. That's why none of that marching ever fucking worked, and none of all that stuff that it was, when I go back now and watch documentaries on the civil rights movement, it looked like, they were working hard and they were having a good time and they were making art and poetry, but it didn't work. That's why we're still here today in the same conditions, because it didn't work. They didn't know that the work was through you, through your consciousness. But I know, and I know how to teach people how to get there. I know how to do it. I have a clear map. So come and join. We have this astrology. It is some very powerful astrology right now. Saturn went direct today. Can anybody feel that Saturn has gone direct? The restrictions have been opened up, and Saturn has gone direct. So we're literally in a new energetic, and it's time for us to start making some progress with freeing ourselves from the old patterns. And it's the most work I've ever done in my life. I love it though. It's the most work I've ever done. Freeing yourself from the conditions that you were born into, freeing yourself. And literally, if you guys watch my post here, I talk about, the post that I talk about, like, it has to come through the body. It comes through your body. It's not outside of you. There's nothing outside of us at all. The new moon cycle starts tomorrow. You can go to my link tree and register. You can also send me a private message and I will send you the link to register. Or you can book natal chart readings and, readings just to help you gauge where you are in your process and the work that you would need in order to initiate your transformation out of the new world and into the new. Hey Monique, would you ever consider doing live readings here on it? I don't know. I don't do readings for free. Let's say that. So I don't do anything where my energy isn't being compensated. So if it were free, no, I wouldn't do that. And I don't know how to do it. You know what I mean? But if people want readings with me, they can come and book them. Like, my readings are deep and intense. And so, but I'm not, I just don't know how to do it, but I'm open. I'm open. Like, I've seen people on IG, not IG. Yes. So I just don't know how I would do it. I don't know how people would pay. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how, like, if I'm like right now, this conversation, I'm not being compensated for, which is fine. Right. But like I'm saying, I don't know how people would pay and all of that sort of stuff. So, and I don't know that I would want to be looking at somebody's chart and saying, were you molested or did you have, like, the stuff is so deep, you know what I mean? Like, it just seems like it's so private. You know what I mean? It's so private. Her readings are not for show. Yeah. Yeah. My readings are very intimate. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. It's such an intimate conversation. And I don't know how people, I wouldn't want to say things that could be shocking to people's systems and everybody's listening. Yeah. It's that, you know what I mean? So, because my work is about healing. My work is about healing. And as you heal, In order for us to access our magic and our power, which we all have, you have to heal your trauma. You cannot access your power and your magic with trauma, with shame, with disbelief, with guilt, with fear, with scarcity. You have to free yourself from the narratives of your life, of your family, in order to access your power and your gifts. And that's why I keep saying, come do the work, because, I talk to clients all the time who are like, they're afraid of doing things, and they don't understand that the fear that they're holding on is like their great-great-grandmothers. You know what I mean? Like, you don't understand that your great-great-grandmother maybe grew up on a slave plantation and had to endure rape 3 or 4 times. And so you're holding that epigenetic energy in your body. And then that energy shows up as like craving alcohol, or, you know what I mean? Or not being able to hold on to money. Like, the work is so intimate and subtle. And that's why I'm saying, when I say, you guys, you can't access it by just being like, it doesn't work that way. And I'm telling you, because I know. Matthew said, as a recipient of your readings, I honor the privacy and the intimacy you provide. Thank you, Matthew. Yes, the work is deep. And if you really want to access your power and your magic, you will have to do the deep work. And you just have to get devoted to yourself. And here's what I'm saying, though, is when you agree to do the deep work, you will be supported. Your ancestors will support you. The creator inside of you will support you. Nature will support you. You will have everything you need, but it is the scariest thing you've ever done, because you will have to face your fears. And what you will discover on the other side of your fears is your magic and your power. You will have to look at why you're afraid of your power. Why are you afraid of, you will have to look at the trauma in your family. You will have to look at it. You won't have to talk to everybody about it, but you will have to face it. And because that is the time that we are in on the planet. So anyway, I invite you all to come. You can go to my website, Heal with the Moon Mama. You can go to my website, MoniqueRuffin.com. And I would love to support you all. And the next moon cycle begins tomorrow, so you guys have a few days to join. We're going to be working with the Scorpio new moon, Gemini full moon. The Scorpio new moon, this is going to be the first new moon in Scorpio where we have not had the South Node. So we are really in a place where we have an opening to heal the traumas in our family, to do our shadow work with this Scorpio energy. Many of us should have shifted a lot of stuff last year with the nodes going through Scorpio and those eclipses, relationship patterns and all of that sort of stuff, trauma patterns. This is the time to really begin to move that energy, set some new intentions around that. The Gemini full moon, Gemini is our mind and how we think, how we create reality. This is a mental reality, right? So you want to really be looking at your thoughts and beginning to understand how to transform your mind. This is the cycle to begin that work. And what I want to let you know is that that's the way of the planet now. The old stuff is going away. So the old ways of being are going to just dissolve. They're going to collapse. We're going to watch it just burn up. You're watching already war and all this stuff going on. These are because the people can't hold the light. There's new light coming in. And so they can't hold the light. So it's making them burn up their systems. They're angry and full of fear and othering and separation. So they are at war. They're at war within themselves. And because they're at war within themselves and with themselves, they're at war with the external world or in the external world. And so all of that's going to get so intense until it just, they're just going to, and then, but those of us who are awake, those of us who can feel the shift into a new reality, the opportunity is for you to to drop the old way of being and step into a new way of being. So at Follow the Sun, you can come join the 13 Moons class, which is a great class, or you can come and join the basic community where every day I talk about the astrology and the rituals. Every week we break down the transits that are going on and how we can incrementally do the work to heal ourselves. Incrementally. So it's like, one with Scorpio, you're going to be working on transforming and alchemizing your shadow. With Sagittarius Sun, you're going to be working on building your faith and trust and your philosophy and what you believe. And then, with Capricorn, you're going to be working on creating new foundations. You do it gradually. Just like, when they build a house, they lay the foundation first. Then, first they create the blueprint. Where are we going to put everything? And then they get the land, and then they do all these things. And that's how you have to build a new you. You have to build it step by step. And the reason you build it step by step is so that it will last. Otherwise, if you just do it fast, it won't last. It'll break down. So you want to build it in alignment with nature's cycles. You want to build the new you in alignment with nature's cycles. What are nature's cycles? The sun. Where the sun is. That's why the name of my company is Follow the Sun. Because the sun, like Jesus said, in my Father's house there are many mansions, and I shall go and prepare one for you. The sun is preparing the way. It is showing us the way. Horus, the higher realms, is showing us where we're going. And where we're going is within us. So anyway, I love y'all. Peace and blessings, everyone. I look forward to seeing you. Come and join and have a beautiful day. Peace and blessings. Bye-bye.